Okay, I thought I'd do a different video. This is kind of where I'm pretty much finishing most of my tracks is in Ableton. This started in the MPC, and everything for all the drums at least, as well as the keys, as well as this mini D plugin that I use to create this sound here, were all done in there. But the cool thing is that, as you can see here, Flavor Pro, which I use all the time now in MPC, is all the VSTs are here. So even like if I want to pull up the stage piano, that's all here. So it's super easy now just to finish something in here. Even if you start in the MPC, you could actually just do it in here. But the thing is that for some reason the sound, like here's a piano, and I don't know if this is because this is MIDI versus this being audio, that it just sounds a bit different to me. But I'll show you that in a second. That's a whole different thing. So I'm using, oh, this is a guitar riff here. I kind of want that color to be a little different. Let's do purple. Then we'll change it over here. All right, so there's the guitar. And let's listen to it. I'll start at the beginning. Sometimes I'll do it this way and then go back and build an intro, depending on what I want it to be. I might actually turn that up now. And then so here I use the stage piano right here. Playing with the OP1 field. So yeah, that's kind of the way I'm creating. I prefer just using Ableton and using instruments, but one of the things I find is that if I want to step away from the computer from time to time, it's good to use other things too. That's why the SP, I tend to do the drums in the SP, and then I add the Flavor Pro or whatever effects from the SP that I want to use into it. But I kind of like the structure of the MPC makes it a little bit faster to get stuff done because of the way you can use MIDI and adjust notes if you need to do, even like with the pianos and things of that nature. But I wanted, what have I done here? But I wanted to utilize my guitar, and I don't like the way, I'm still not fond of the way it sounds plugged into the MPC. It's okay, it's just not, I prefer to go straight to the sound card for this. And so what I use on that typically is IK Multimedia's Amplitude, and I have the Fender Collection, so I use the Twin. Because I'm playing a nylon string, so typically I wouldn't even use that. I would just go straight in, but I think it gives it a little, amp sound to it, which I think is kind of cool. And then I'll throw even the Flavor Pro on that and put a little vinyl effect just to make it sound like it's on a record. And then I have my drums, which, because I did these in the MPC with the vinyl, I think I had the vinyl effect or some effect I use on it from the drums. I'm not going to add more to it, or it'll get sounding weird. So yeah, so I was putting the vinyl effect on like a drum bus or something like that, but then I like to be able to control each one for each instrument so I can get it to sound exactly the way I want it. So that's why I stopped doing that. And now I just put it on the actual instrument I'm gonna use. So you can hear it if you listen closely, but I try to make it as subtle as possible so it's not overly done that way. And then on the master, as you already know, I think I spoke on it, this is just the haze too. I just use the natural on it pretty much. Yeah, just use the natural on that. And there's nothing really else on this master. If I really think by the time I finish, if after I listen to it, then I think it's still not loud enough for whatever reason, or the mix sounds kind of low, I might go in and grab tone booster, which I have on here, barricade, and put it on there. Sometimes I'll be honest, I don't. I'll just make sure the levels are all right in here and then adjust from there. I figure the less I use as far as effects, the less likely I have some latency or some sound that's really off, and then I got a lot more to work to correct. So I try to use the least amount of plugins as I can, with the exception of if I'm trying to remix something or add an effect, I might use like Cable Guys. This is all laptop stuff, right? Use Cable Guys stuff on there. I think on the iPad I'll use Mini Flux Pro if I want to do that kind of effects. But you got to stack it with some other stuff too, so that it gives that sound, depending on what you're trying to do with it. Excite Audio Lifeline console always exists on the drum track, but I primarily just use it for the drum bus parallel compression. I like that on it. And then I'll usually go in, if I hit tab, I'll go in here and you'll see I have it on here maxed out, but I control how much on the sends for just the bus. That's the only thing I really use a bus for. The bass is Trillion, which sometimes I like to play bass, but oops, I keep pressing a button here. Sometimes I like to play the bass, but if I don't feel like plugging in and turning up stuff, then I'll just I'll add Trillion here. And I used to stack it with other stuff, but it's a built-in amplifier inside of it, which is fine enough for me. And then they have a tape on there, so I usually don't add any Flavor Pro on there with the bass, just because they already have a tape thing, simulator thing in there. I guess I could turn it off and add Flavor Pro if I wanted to, but I kind of like just the way it sounds. I don't want to Flavor Pro everything, but I do. Sometimes I do. Yep. And that's pretty much it. This track is obviously not done. This is just kind of a rough draft, and then I'll have to figure out the arrangement. I may add a totally different, I need a bridge, so I may add some more chords, go back and finish up some of that, which I haven't done. But I just wanted to try to show you the workflow on Ableton that I use. And of course, the most important thing to not forget is to save your work. So I'm making a series, I'm working on a series, and it's called The Mellow. It's called Mellow Vibes. And this is gonna be, this is Mellow number 1. So I'm just doing them, sometimes I'll do them on the the OP1. Start it there. If I like a part, then I might take that part to either to the MPC or the SP, or however. I'm just pulling from all kinds of resources. No structure whatsoever. Just trying stuff out. Like I said, this one started in the MPC, and that's where it migrated over to here. So I am just going to temporary files. I'll just delete them at this point. All right, file save again. We're good. All right, golden. So yeah, there we go. So I just wanted to show you that workflow on the computer. And I honestly like just using the computer a lot of times, because if I want, I can just kind of pick and choose what I want to do, versus when I use the MPC and the SP. The SP is good because it's quick to just load some drums in and really quickly do it. But I always feel like I gotta save everything in there and then save over here. Sometimes I just want to record straight in and just start arranging immediately and get the job done type thing. But it just whatever comes and works. I'm not gonna put myself through trying to make sure it's one way or the other. But anyway, this is just kind of the idea of the workflow. All right, so I am done. This video is actually going to be under 11 minutes, which is my plan. And I will see you on the next one. I'm out.